Hello there guys, Wayne here from Luna's World. I hope you're well. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today's video we are going to be checking out the ever controversial Captain Sim 777. We're rocking out with the Thai Airways livery here. And I have to say guys, like the actual modeling of this aircraft on the outside is absolutely beautiful. Just look at those reflections in the wing there. And the textures are incredibly well done, complete with man drinking water bottle with his camera. Oh, and look at that. That's quite a serious stare. Mind you, he's probably thinking, what the hell is a drone doing outside my window? But really, really nice attention to detail. They should be sitting down. Oh, maybe they are. Anyway, pretty cool. The detail on this aircraft from the outside is really nice. Let's go and have a look at the undercarriage, for example. So, yeah, incredible amount of detail and attention paid to the, well, frankly, the parts of the aircraft that you never really see unless you do this. But it's cool. Just look at the wheel well there, lots of detail. Lights are modelled really well. It's beautiful, it really is. It's among the best I've seen for a payware aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's saying quite a lot. But there is a big but coming, and oh, speaking of big buts, let's go and have a look at the APU on the tail of this aircraft. It's an iconic, well, not iconic, but it's quite a distinctive APU exhaust, which I think warrants a look. If I can work there we go. Yeah, so that's modelled really well. We've got that sort of flat tail there with the APU exhaust there. Let's just get above a bit and have a look. Yeah, like I said, it does come with a bit of a, well, not a bit, a huge but. Let's get into the cockpit. The cockpit's nicely done. There's you know, great texturing work. I like the yoke, the way it's modelled. All the buttons kind of, well, not all of them, but most of them work. But this is where the big problem lies. Normally if I get a tube liner, the first thing I want to do is go over to the FMC. We're faced with a bit of an issue. Model 747-800i, issue number 1. Issue number 2, we've got 4 engines, according to this. It's just really shoddy. It's just embarrassing. Not what you would expect from a company such as Captain Sim. Why on earth they couldn't be bothered to change that? I mean, it does say in the blurb that they use the 747 default kind of systems, which in itself is not a big issue really, because the price of this is $30, so it's not PMDG level of sophistication. We're not looking at a study level sim here. This is just a nice model of a 737 that should allow you to fly from A to B without too much of an issue. But they've just overlooked a bunch of things that are really, really annoying, like that. I mean, another thing is the speed brakes. Like, that's not even modeled. You can see I'm moving the lever on my physical Bravo throttle quadrant here, but no animation on the actual lever. I mean, there's just, even the default aircraft have that. It's just poor. It's poor attention to detail, and not something that I think warrants giving $30 to, even though the outside of the aircraft is beautiful. Anyway, let's see how this thing flies. We're currently at Suvarnabhumi International in Bangkok, and we're going to fly down to Samui, and we're going to use the systems here. I've got the route planned in. Let's just quickly check it actually and make sure that it's looking as good as it can. Yeah, so that's all been inputted in correctly. We'll just whack some reserves in there, 4 pounds. Thrust, we'll just leave that as is. Flaps 10 takeoff, those are our V speeds. Whoa, we must be heavy. Execute that. Outside air temperature 32. Okay, that's all good. So the aircraft is going to pitch down at, sorry, the throttle will reduce at 1,500 feet. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, basically. Let's just check the route here. So, okay, so we've got 4 nautical miles of that. And then we're flying a SID out of Bangkok to avoid flying over the city itself. And then it brings us in. It's a flight time of around 51 minutes. So I won't obviously make you sit through the whole of that, but I'll bring you up to the major kind of components of the flight. So I think with that, we are pretty much ready to go. All is left is to set the flaps to 10. I forgot what the flight level was. Maximum flight level, page 2, 42,000 feet. Blimey. Okay. That seems off, but whatever. Okay, so I guess we'll select 42,000. Jeez Louise. Our initial heading, we'll worry about that later. Let's just get flying. So, release the brakes and we'll taxi on out. Just holding short of the runway here. The sounds on this aircraft are quite nice. Just make sure our landing lights are on. Flight director is on. We'll arm already was armed. Auto throttle. And get on our merry way. Now guys, just a bit of a caveat here. I'm not an expert in flying this aircraft by any stretch of the imagination, so I will definitely do things wrong. I can't possibly blame everything on this model. So, you know, some of what you'll see probably will have you screaming at the screen saying, well, you didn't do this. And I'm definitely going to make mistakes. All right, we have been cleared, but actually before we do that, I am just going to turn on the window heat and just have a quick check over everything. I think everything else is good apart from our seatbelt signs. Packs are on, runway lights are on. We're good to go. We're pretty much good to go. All right. We are clear on approach, so we'll enter the runway and get the show on the road, or in the sky, I should say. Oh, well, that's weird. What's happened there? Lost control over the aircraft. Okay, that's better. It does take a bit of getting used to, the controlling, especially with the differential braking, and on a large aircraft like this, it's a lot different to the humble 737. I'm super pumped for the PMDG 737, by the way. Can't wait for that. All right, let's get ourselves nice and lined up. Do a rolling takeoff, why not? And I'll try and give you guys, in fact, we won't do a rolling takeoff because I want to just make sure my drone view is nice so we can get some nice shots coming out of Bangkok. So let me just go to the drone view. And I think what we'll do is we'll position it, just to speed up the tessellation, we'll position it nice and be a little bit closer. Okay, something like that, that'll do. And then we get some nice views as we take off. All right, guys, so let's stabilize the engines at around 50%, and then we will set takeoff thrust. There we go. 80 knots. Weather pretty good en route today. A few clouds around, but nothing too terrible. I'm struggling with the rudder here a bit. All right, rotate. Positive rate, gear going up. Ooh, it is a bit windy. There's Suvarnabhumi. Now this is a payware model actually, and I'll be doing a full review on it because it's pretty darn good. Let's have a look outside. Yeah, very nice. There we go. All right, let's try and not crash. So we'll go flaps up now. And this is really twitchy. I don't know whether it's the weather or whether it's the model, the flight model. Let's just come back off that throttle a bit. So what we'll do is we'll arm VNav and LNav. And I'm assuming that should take care of business. Now, I'm going to watch the throttle here, because we're already breaking our speed limits here. So I'm just going to disarm that. Right. Let me just have a look here what it's doing. Okay, it's just trying to pull us back onto the magenta line. That's fine. Yeah, I don't think, I have tried this flight a couple of times and I've had issues with the auto throttle. So I don't know whether, I've got a feeling it's not working, which again, if that is the case, it might be me, but if that is the case, it's another kind of thing against this, because it should work, because it's obviously it's based on the default 747, and as far as I know, that works perfectly fine. Well, within reason for a default aircraft anyway. So let's see, so we're at 2,600 feet, but we should be on our way up to, we've got no altitude. Let's have a quick look here. So we're on our way to BS 101. We should be climbing up to 6,000 feet, which we are climbing, but very slowly. By the time we get to BS 102, we should be at 8,250 feet or above, which at this rate ain't gonna happen. Again, unless I'm doing something wrong. So what we might do is intervene, and we'll just expedite this a little bit. Actually, I can see that we're a little bit off. What I might have forgotten to have done is align the GPS. Just go back to this page. Position. Yeah, so VT, Victor, Tango, Sierra Bravo going in there. And what I did forget to do was this. So that should, hopefully, put us back on a proper route now. Just watching that airspeed. All right, go back to the legs page. So hopefully that should take care of it. So the lateral navigation is working, but I can't seem to get the vertical to work properly. That vertical I would include speed as well. So that's why I've gone over to IAS mode. But actually, let's see if that works. So that should maintain 250 knots. All right, just a quick after takeoff check. It's pretty calm, so we can release them from their seats. We'll keep the window heat on. Anti-ice, probably don't need it, to be honest. Might get a bit cloudy. We'll just, we'll leave it off for now. That'll be okay. Okay, so it is maintaining 250, so it is working on that side of things. It's just not, doesn't seem to be holding the vertical side of things, if that makes sense. But we'll see how we go. Just zoom out and have a look at this map. That's our route there. So basically it's taking us sort of west of Bangkok and then down over Hua Hin, that kind of area, and down across the Gulf, and then down into Samui. So it should be a nice little run. Actually, completely lied. It looks like it's taking us to the west of, on the west coast, and then across here. Yeah, so we are tracking down, I guess, Samut Prakan, and then over the Gulf of Thailand. Is it the Gulf of Thailand, this one? I think it is. Or is it the end? Yeah, Gulf of Thailand, yeah. And then across the sea there, which makes sense. All right, 10,000 feet, so our landing lights can come off, although they're not mapped. Let me just see if I can find which one it is. Can't. There it is. Okay. All right, landing lights are off, then we're good to go. And we're above 10,000, so now we can increase our speed quite considerably. We go up to, I don't know, that'll do. And we'll continue up. So, yeah, so far so good. Although, you know, I did anticipate the issue with the auto throttle. But never mind, let's jump outside and have a look at some beautiful outside views. Sounds really good on this as well, I have to say. Just such a shame it falls short in the systems department, because otherwise this would be a decent buy for $30. But as it stands now, I find it incredibly hard to even recommend, which is a real shame. All right, we should be doing a right-hand turn anytime soon, heading across the Gulf here. But look at that, reflections are beautiful, texturing is beautiful, sounds are good. Just those darn systems. All right, actually, while we're here, we might as well go and have a look in the cabin, because that's another big feature of this model is that the cabin is actually really well done. So we'll go back and have a look. So we've got the business class lounge up here first, which again, you know, the textures are really nice. Complete with the Sawasdi magazine. I don't know why they call it that, because the correct pronunciation, this means hello in Thai, but some people write it with an S. And I've seen it written with a T as well. But the sound is Sawadi. So, I don't know. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so a good level of detail in the cabin, complete with some cool stuff here, but complete with a colourful cabin with food. You can almost smell it. Actually, I've flown Thai quite a lot, Thai Airways, and I really do rate them, and their food is very good. This will be like premium economy, I guess, or probably maybe this is business and that was first, I'm not quite sure. Obligatory wing view, looking over the Thai eastern side, but very nice. And yeah, no complaints in terms of the cabin texture. It's really, really good. And actually, the more I look at that beautiful engine, the more I'm thinking, damn, that looks good. Anyway, all right, I suppose no one's flying the plane, so we better go back. Distinct lack of beautiful stewardesses, which is a bit of a shame. All right, business class here, or maybe first class, I'm not quite sure. Doesn't look like those. Oh, maybe they'd fold down. Yeah, probably they'd fold. No, probably business. But anyway, that looks like that could fold out into a bed, I think. But yeah, let's see. I mean, look at the cockpit. It does look nice. Really does. It's modelled well. It's just a shame that they haven't changed some of those details. All right, what are we up to? We're only at 20,000 feet, so I'm gonna increase. Lost my mouse. Where's it gone? I seem to have this issue. There it is. All right, I'm gonna increase the vertical speed. Otherwise, we'll be taking forever to get up there. There we go, as we cross over the Gulf there. So, in terms of where we are, let's just have a quick look on the map. Yeah, so as I suspected, we've sort of came over. Rayong is, maybe this is Rayong here, I think. So we're in the Rayong airspace. And then flying pretty much all the way through over water until we get to Samui. That surprises me, that route. I thought it might track along here just for the ETOPS safety regulations, but I guess it's not that far in terms of nautical miles. It's probably 200 and something nautical miles. 260 nautical miles, something like that. Should be able to tell you actually. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, so right down to 250. Yeah, bearing in mind this is, we need to choose the runway, I guess, and we'll go. I guess we'll go RNAV into 17. We'll execute that. has vastly increased our distance there. And again, there's no ability to select SIDS and stars within this. You have to type them in manually. So maybe let's change that. Or we could probably mess around deleting these. It's transition. But let's try 35 then. SMU transition. Let's see what that does to our route. I think that's better. A little bit shorter, not much in it, to be honest, but never mind. Look at the dust on the screens there. How can they pay attention to things like that and not fix the FMC? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There we go. Anyway, guys, I'll probably bring you guys back when we're a little bit closer to maybe the descent, top of descent, because otherwise it's going to be a fairly uneventful, hopefully uneventful, crossing of water here. One final look. Gotta give it to him. The outside looks stunning. It really does. Can't fault that at all. Nice. It's a very calm day, otherwise I'd test it to see if there's any wing flex. I'm assuming wing flex is modelled because it is on default aircraft, so I don't see why that should be any different. Looks like we do have some weather up ahead a little bit. Weather radar, by the way, doesn't work. I've already checked that out, so that's a bit annoying. But anyway, there we go, guys. So I will bring you back once we are cruising and maybe just a little bit away from the top of descent, and we'll see how the descent goes. But otherwise, I'll see you very shortly. Okay, guys, welcome back. Made a bit of a boo-boo. I'm just going to put some speed brakes out. Yeah, I kind of, I don't quite know what happened. Oh, I do know what happened. Basically, I went and did some ironing, and for some reason it's come off of the lateral navigation, even though it's still armed. So I don't quite know. Anyway, we're making a manual descent now, and we're going to try and rescue this flight, see if we can still put her down in Samui. Now, I might actually just reselect with the RNAV. So it's going to make us do something slightly weird in a holding pattern. Oh no, it's not. Okay, we might be all right. We might be all right. Let's just have a look at our legs. So we've got to be above 5,000 feet at Dorna. I don't quite know what it's doing. Doesn't seem to be following lateral navigation. Let me just disconnect and reconnect. Okay, now it seems to be correcting itself. I guess we'll just see. Also, the weather's kind of picking up a little bit. Let's just jump outside and have a look. So we've got some building storms. My God, that looks stunning, doesn't it? Some definite cumulonimbus building over there. But we should be doing a right-hand turn soon, I would have thought. I hope so, anyway. It's doing a nosedive right now. Oh, it's hard to stop looking at that. That's absolutely stunning. I'm struggling to know what it's doing here. I think, is it going to try and... I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll just let it do its thing. See, it's not even following my... Let's get the speed brakes up now. And should be about 120. $17,000 feet. I guess we'll just, yeah, let's just see what the computer is doing. There's some nice towers building there, nice little rainbow. I mean, this sim really is beautiful at times, isn't it? In fact, most times it's beautiful. All right, let's do a few kind of before landing things. And again, I'm not following any checklist here. Samui, I think, I don't have the plate, but I think we'll go autobake 3. That should be okay. We'll keep flight directors on. We'll do a full manual landing, by the way, guys. I'm not going to risk the autopilot not working. Oh my goodness, let me just have a look at that. That looks absolutely insane. Goodness me. Yeah, so we'll just hold tight and see what happens. But something is definitely amiss. I think it's going to try and take us to this line and then try and turn us around, which will be an absolute disaster, in which case we will have to intervene and take over, because that's just not going to work. In fear of that, we'll just expedite our descent. I think that is what it's going to do, you know. Which, if that's the case, is a fault of the default systems. I'm pretty sure it's going to try and do a 180 and fail miserably. But why is my... Let's just do this, see if that helps. No, it's not going to help at all. Maybe it is. Come on, what are you going to do? It's not doing anything. It's just having a joke. All right, you know what? We'll go back to our... No, we're not... I don't want to go up. I want to go down. Don't be an idiot. Yeah, we've lost lateral navigation completely. It's not following that at all. So at this stage, I think we'll go to heading select. And we'll just try and do something here, I guess. That's all we can do. We'll vector ourselves in. So weird, so bizarre behavior. Again, I'm not fully blaming I guess I am. Let's kick the speed brakes out. It doesn't want to descend because of the speed, because we're on AIS mode. So let's help it out a bit, and that's going to make us descend. Now we're going through some weathers. All right, I think we'll do a right-hand turn. We're practically on 0, 0, 0. Oops. Oh, what is this thing doing? Jeez. Just increase the bank limit a little bit. Just to help us out. We're still not descending at the rate that I want, i.e. fast. If we increase the speed, will it let us descend more? Yeah. Descend, not descent. All right, well, we'll go flaps 1 and flaps 5 since we're below flap 5 speed. That's going to help us. Really strange. If I'm doing something blindingly, obviously wrong, guys, in terms of operating this autopilot, do let me know. But as far as I know, I don't think I'm doing anything drastically wrong, because it's just not following what it should be. All right, let's keep on coming around here. We're going to have to seriously do some descending in order to get down to our altitude. We'll head towards Lavos, I think. And again, let's just increase that speed, try and get descent going. This is a fundamental flaw, I think. Or maybe we should be on flight change. No,